Good morning, everyone. Hi, 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 hi. Hi, 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 hi. I hope you guys are all having a great. Like a kick. Whoa. But anyways, we'll do that later. Good morning, everyone.
Socialist.
Dr. Rant, thank you so much for that 10 gifts. Thanks. What? Denims, are you going to answer for your crimes of liking a foot fetish post on Instagram? Huh? What? The fuck are you talking about? Denims, how about the series finale from The Boys? Because I haven't watched the series finale. But I'm gonna be honest with all of you. I haven't watched any of season 4 or 5 of The Boys because I stopped watching at season 3. And I'm gonna be real with you guys. I'm gonna be real. It kind of was ass. It kind of started getting ass. It just got really formulaic where every single season was exactly the same, where it was just Butcher being like, and this time we're gonna get Homelander for real. This time for real. And it's just like, okay. And then like nothing would happen, and it's like, oh, they killed off like some random character that nobody cared about. Okay. Like the stakes just didn't feel real. It was just like, it felt really annoying. It's just like, oh, okay. So I stopped watching at season 3, and I was like, I'm good. Tell me when it gets like good. And like, I'm gonna be honest. Oh, you forgot to say Oi. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I just season 1 was so good. Season 1 was literally so good. It completely sold me on the show. And then by season 3, I was so disappointed with the direction that the show went in, where it was just it was really repetitive. And it was just very formulaic, and B, like, none of the characters were changing in ways that, like, were interesting. Arguably, the only character that changes even a little bit is, like, Homelander. And that's it. And the rest of the characters are, like, boring. You know what I mean? It's just, like, other characters are just, like... Is Butcher gonna improve as a character at all? No, he's just gonna be the same one-dimensional, you killed my wife and now I have to get revenge. For sure this time. For sure this time. For sure this time. It's like, oh my god. I just don't care. Huey or whatever his fucking name is being a little bitch for 5 seasons straight. Dude, and then don't even get me started with, like, Huey. Huey's like if you made Shinji a Redditor. I said it. I said it. I fucking said it, okay? I fucking said it. Sorry. Brave. It's very cute, the amount of people that are all magic savant writers every time a show ends. Huh? I've been a hater of this show long before it ended. I started hating the show by like the middle of season 3, and I powered through, and I was like, the season finale will be good, and then it was shit. And I was like, I'm not watching this show anymore. I'm not watching this show anymore. And season 4 came out, and I was like, well, haven't seen anyone talk about it, so it couldn't have been good. And then season 5 came out, and I only saw people talking about it negatively. I was like, well, I'm glad that I still haven't watched it. Okay. I will say really quickly on the topic of Homelander, it is kind of unfortunate that like Trump took office again, because I do think that like the Homelander archetype is more so like, I think it's less a Trump parody and it's more like a power hungry, like megalomaniac who believes meritocracy is real because it's benefiting them. But the second it stops benefiting them, they don't, you know what I mean? -1 F off. Whoa, dude. Like, kind of like how The Onion is our current timeline IRL. Yeah. Like, I feel like Like, if you want to see a Trump parody, go watch Mickey 17. That's a Trump parody. That's an actual Trump parody. Sorry, the other playlists are playing. But wait, that's the same thing. Well, my point is, I think when Trump took office and they wrote this season and they were like, wait a minute, we have to like scrap some of these episodes because like this is just real life now. Oh, this is just real life now. Fuck. God fucking damn it. So, yeah, I gotta say, I do feel bad for the writers that worked on Homelander because it does feel like it only started becoming a Trump parody in season 4. I think like they started teasing it a little bit when it was like, I remember there's that like one guy who's supposed to be like anti-soy or something, and he's like, I love Trump, not Trump, I love Homelander, yeah, Homelander. But I think it was more than just like a Trump parody. Like I think it was more so like this particular archetype that was ruined by reality. Todd, I don't fucking remember these names, dude. Stop. Even the actors are now saying they aren't happy with the writers. I mean, the writing is just terrible. It's just awful. It's just terrible, dude. The stepdad had me cringing. Yeah, with the stepdad character. The stepdad character is so cringe. Anyways, yeah, so I stopped like... Is Homelander just like a badly written character overall? Like he's just a lab rat? I think it's sad because I do think he's like one of the more compelling characters that they could do so much with him, and they do nothing with him. Like a good example of a show that like I listen, I'm an annoying person. I have problems with a lot of shows, but like Invincible, there's a lot of problems in that show. All right, there's a lot of problems in that show, and I have a lot of criticisms I have. But the characters change in interesting ways. Like the motivations are interesting, the characters are interesting, and they're constantly developing, even sometimes in ways that I don't particularly enjoy. I like characters that change from their environment. And like the characters in The Boys, just like they don't change. It's the same character over and over and over and over and over and over again. And they never change no matter how many things impact them. It's like, growth arcs, you say. Well, they don't even have to like grow, right? Like they don't have to become better. They can become worse. Do you feel me? Do you feel me? I'm fine with them changing for the worst. I just want to see change in characters because that's what people do. People change. The characters change for sure. No, not the characters that spend the most time on the screen don't change. Starlight is like the only character who changes in like the first 3 seasons. And the rest of the characters are all like, okay, the Deep changes a little bit. But the rest of the characters are all like really... Like, I'm sorry, I hate that Butcher is like one of the main characters. I hate him. It's like the first season's like, oh, okay, I'm down. And then it's just that character forever. And I'm like, I'm so bored. I'm just so bored. I'm just so bored, man. I can't. I can't. So anyways, fuck you talking about? So many of them changed. Just not in the later seasons. Yeah, I already said the first season was good. What the hell are you talking about, brother? They do change. Most go from alive to unalive. Okay, well, that doesn't really require a lot of skill, does it? And then the character dies. Okay, and then? They wrote a major plot fuck up by having the character who grew up in Japan talking about not seeing girls like her on TV. Like, what the fuck? Japanese TV is full of Japanese people. What does she mean? Does she mean mutants? Because she's not American in the show. What the fuck? Okay, I haven't gone that far. I don't know. Butcher's arc was done by season 2, better than the comics at least. Isn't that the point of Butcher, that he will? I hate this. I hate this response. I hate when something is criticized in media and it's like, no, that's the point. That's the point. It's like, the point is to be unwatchable. The point is to make every moment unwatchable. You know what I'm going to say, guys? I actually watched an anime recently that kind of went crazy. You guys seen Orb? on the movements of Earth. Dude, that's like the best anime I've seen in like at least like 5 years. Glorp? No, Orb. I recommend if you guys are watching, if you guys are interested in an anime, go and see this anime. It's only like 23, 24 episodes or something. And wow, dude, wow. It's actually good. It's actually good. It's actually good. They got spheres or something. They got spheres or some shit, bruh. No, it's good. It's good. It's like it's kind of cool to watch a show where you don't know what's gonna happen. Like, I already know watching the problem with Butcher on the screen. This is kind of the problem with all superhero movies and all superhero TV shows. The stakes are just not that high, and you know none of the main characters are going to die. So anytime there's like a high tension scene, it's like, he's going to be fine. Oh, and then they got to a near death battle and they're both fine. Okay. Oh, look, they're fighting again. Oh, and they're both fine. Oh, what a shocking development. Okay. I gotta say, this anime, I was like, there were so many scenes. There were so many scenes where I was watching this other anime and I was like, they're not gonna do that, right? Like, they wouldn't kill off that character. That would be crazy. They're gonna like make it out and then the character dies and I'm like, huh? What? Wait, but how did you, but that character, but, no way. And like every fight, you don't know what's gonna happen. You don't know what's gonna happen. Like that's I don't know. I think that's dope. I think that's dope. Superhero fiction is mostly power fantasy. Most of the stories are pretty shit. Some runs are really good, but not. No, I disagree. I think superhero fiction is just like it's a genre the way that like animation is a genre. Like if you think that like Spider-Man is about a power fantasy, it's like of course not, right? It's just like the genre that it's in. Spider-Man is about like having more responsibility than you can handle and being the better person every time, no matter what, right? Like it's more than that, I feel like. That's just my personal opinion. It's about a man who's also a spider. That's true. That's true. And I do think a lot of superhero media is about like dual identities. So I disagree that like all superhero media is exactly the same and that it's all just like power fantasy. I think a lot of it ends up being that. But like, can you imagine watching Legion and being like, this is just about a power fantasy? It's like, no. I don't think so. I don't actually think that that's what that is. I think it's about something different. Holy shit, Denims has seen Legion. I watched the first season and then I did get a little bored, but the premise was really good. I'll pick it back up eventually because I did like it, but anyways. What's your take on Heroes? I liked it a lot when I was growing up and I thought the villain was really sexy. And then I'm scared to go back and rewatch it because I don't think it holds up. I'm pretty sure it like does not hold up, so I don't want to go back and watch it because I'm gonna be scared if when it doesn't. Who was the villain? I don't know. The guy who like does this to people's brains or whatever. Tyler. Yeah, that guy. Zachary Quinto. That one. Have you watched Invincible? Well, I already talked about that, yeah. Invincible's fine. I really like Mark. I like Mark as a character. I think Mark is a very compelling character. And I enjoy his but Invincible's another show where it feels like I don't know what's gonna happen. We're like, other than the fact that I'm pretty sure Mark will survive because the show's about him, I don't know what's gonna happen. Like I feel like anything could happen. I mean, I haven't read the comic, so I don't know. And I feel like that's the hardest thing to do if you're writing a series about superheroes. So you should focus on other things, right? Like for example, like the most recent Superman. If you watch that and you think it's like power fantasy, it's like no. That's like a story about, first of all, character archetypes. And it's also about well, millionaires and billionaires, and also about Israel, and also about how like every life matters and every bit of good matters at every amount, no matter how small. Like it's more than that. You know what I mean? That's just my opinion. Lex is the only one with the power fantasy in that one. Yeah. That movie's about Superman having the worst week in his life and choosing to keep going anyways. Yeah. So that's all I was gonna. That's what I want to say on that. So that's all to say. Like I just personally feel like you have to write stakes well, and you have to like. It has to feel. If you can't build tension because the characters are too strong to build tension, then you have to at least build tension in other ways, whether that be through like interpersonal growth or through like bigger themes. And The Boys just doesn't do that. It's just like, it's just so boring. It's so, and then like the fact that you can just turn on the news and it's the same thing. It's like, this is just so boring. It's just like not entertaining. Like I'm not entertained. I feel like there are some shows you watch, and if you look away for a second, you miss like an important glance between two characters that communicate so much. And it straight up feels like you can just put on like The Boys, and you could like walk away for like 30 minutes and come back and you like didn't miss anything. It's like, did I miss anything? Nope. All right, great. Let's sit down. Oh, all right. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Thoughts on Legend of Korra? It's just too hard to follow up the original. Too hard. Okay, that's enough media analysis, though. That's all I was going to talk about on that. I like The Boys for shock value of certain scenes. Well, I really liked the practical team. I felt like the gore was dope. But that's that. Let me close stuff really quickly. Yeah, I tried to rewatch Legend of Korra recently, and I got through like the first season, and it's just the characters are good. The characters are good. It's just like the plot is really boring. It's just the plot, like they don't do a good job making the plot interesting. It just feels very like it's very anticlimactic. I don't like the modernity part of it. I also don't, yeah, I agree. I don't like the steampunk aesthetic. I think it like takes away from the genre. And I'm like, the thing that sucks is that people make fun of Legend of Korra for having bad characters, but the characters are good. Like I genuinely, I don't mean to be like a contrarian. I actually like the characters. I think Korra is a compelling character. I think Mako's a compelling character. I think Asami's a compelling character. I think all those characters are compelling. Like I like the characters. And then, like, you know, the anti-woke crowd is like, Korra's constantly thinks she's better than everybody else. It's like, okay, first of all, she's literally the Avatar, so she is, like, okay, like, literally skill issue. Like, she literally is, okay? That's part of being the Avatar. But all right. But also, she's like, and they're like, and she has an ego and all these. It's like, no, she's actually really humble about it. And, like, the primary arc of the first season is that she's, like, scared of this guy who can take away her bending, and she doesn't know how to like deal with it. Like that's like she has like moments of weakness, and she like confides about how she doesn't know what to do, and she can't communicate with the spirit realm because she's spiritually stupid, and like she doesn't feel like which is kind of the constant theme in the Avatar series. Like the Avatar doesn't feel like they don't know if they're doing the right thing because they're just people. So yeah, that's what I will say. I feel like the characters are good. I think like the plot is just like it's just so bland. It's just really bland. You know what I mean? I don't think it deserved the hate that it got. Like, it did get so much hate for no reason. The only thing that I think deserved hate in The Legend of Korra, there's one thing, which is how dare they make Toph a cop? Like, I can't believe they wrote that into canon. Like, Toph would not be a cop, dude. She would not be a fucking cop. This is Toph we're talking about. That is the one thing where I'm like, no, you will never live this down, Legend of Korra. You will never, ever. And then some of the bending is really like, I feel like the bending was a lot more impactful in the original series, and then the bending in the other series, or like in the follow-up in Korra, was like kind of meh. Like, it's like, dude, these guys are using technology to electrocute us. Let's keep using metal. It's like, shouldn't you stop doing that and use rocks again? You can use rocks. Like, what the? No. We got to keep using these metal. We have to keep using metal. It's like, no, you don't. You actually don't. I get it that that's your whole thing, that you metal bend and that's what you do. But like, just use some rocks, man. They can't lightning bend, or like they can't use tech with lightning on the rocks. It doesn't conduct electricity very well. Like, that's their whole. Well, yeah, but like, grow up. Like literally grow. Oh no, can you imagine like you're like playing Pokemon and you have like a team of only what is it totally ineffective against? What is it, like lightning is totally ineffective against ground or rock? Is that even, I'm pretty sure that's the case. Like, is it ground is totally, what's the ones that are like completely 0% damage? Is it, yeah, okay, so it's electric to ground. Like, literally. Can you imagine you're like, well, I'm using these ground Pokemon against this electric trainer. It's like, dude, it's not working. Like, it's not working. Use something, switch out. You're better off using weaker Pokemon at weaker levels than your kitted out kid. Because it doesn't work. Like, hello? So it's like, dude, just like, you know, like just go back to throwing rocks. You're so wrong. Korra's a woman, so it's bird. Oh, sorry, that's true. Sorry. Flying is immune to ground too. I hate that the Avatar state became bend harder instead of the wisdom and battle experience of avatars before her. I didn't mind that one that much. I thought it was like, well, whatever. Also, man, can I also just say really quickly, the reason why I was down for the steampunk aesthetic, but I didn't like how much of like I don't like how much the premise ruined the show. Like, it's like, oh boy, we're gonna see some crazy bending. And then it's just like two people fighting in like mechas. I'm like, I mean, okay, I guess. I didn't want to see this, but sure. Okay. Sure. So yeah, that's all. That's all I wanted to say. That was season 3, right? I mean, it was kind of in season 1 too. Kind of in season 1 too. But anyways, that's all I was gonna. That's it. I apparently missed this discussion of whatever discussion is when Sam and Emma were actually talking about Legend of Korra. Will TTS be fixed or is it perma-fried? It's perma-fried. No, the truth is that every time the TTS would go off, it would like break my train of thought. And then I would forget where I was. And then the TTS would be really long. So no more TTS here. TTS only on alt stream. Sorry. Yeah. And then people will send like full essays and it's like for like a minute straight. And then by the time it's over, I'm like, what was I talking about? Okay, well, I don't remember. So I guess we'll just press play. So yeah. Yeah. Sorry. All right. I don't understand why they never had the metal benders curve a bullet. Dude. Ooh. True. All right. Well, that's enough of that. I have other stuff that I want to get to today. It is time. Sorry, this tweet. I hate that this fuck-ass country has me upset that a libertarian lost his primary. Dude, like, can I just say really fast, isn't it crazy that Thomas Massie lost just because he went against Trump? Like, he ran on the very scary anti-pedophile campaign. And people were like, well, I guess you don't like Trump anymore, so we can't like you anymore. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Excellent. Good. Good. This dude drank raw milk and just talked like Kennedy at his concession speech. Ah, dude. Well. Yeah. Can we cover the Waymo breeding season today, please? No. I don't want to disturb the Waymos by speaking about them. I want them to continue. I want more Waymos. More! More! No, that's not what I was going to say. I was actually going to say that I wanted to pull up... where is it? Oh, yes, yes. Oh, right. I didn't even go over what we're going to go over today. Wow. All right. First and foremost, all right, the Waymo is pregnant when you're inside it. First, I was going to say, I'm about up to here listening to billionaires talk about how poor people need to manage their money better. I'm done. I'm done with hearing them talk about this. How about, I don't know, you just like pay your fair share and then people can just like get coffee when they want to get coffee. You know? I just think that would be cool if we could do that. Yeah, that would be nice. That would be really nice if that, yeah. You could survive off of 1 bean and 2 rice grains. What are you complaining about? They're right, though, Denims. We need to manage billionaires' money better. Yes, and boy, could I manage it so much better. And then, the unbelievable Trump fraud. And then, I wanted to watch, or rather, I wanted to start with this because I thought it'd be fun. The Trump phone. Boy, boy, boy. It is just... I have to say, it's pretty fun watching people fall for the Trump phone scam. So I want to watch that. And then, later today, guys, I don't mean to inform all of you, but we will be playing some Monopoly with Oliver Larkin later today. It should be at 8 p.m. EST. I forgot to post the thing. I'm going to post it today. But yes, it is going to be at 8 p.m. EST, 5 p.m. PST. And we're going to be playing Monopoly, and we're going to be fundraising for Oliver Larkin, who's running for Congress. And, sorry. We'll talk about it a little bit at the end of stream, but things to look forward to. The anti-capitalist game Monopoly, that's the one. That's the one. Catherine, thank you so much for the gift sub. And thank you so much for the 32 months. Justice for TTS. Also, it was birthday on Monday, but you didn't stream Satch. No! Sorry. I'm sorry for missing your birthday, Katra. I'll shave my hair and go bald as punishment. I think it's fair. Go for the orange/red properties. Don't worry, I'm a master at Monopoly. Is it going to be this channel or the Not Denims channel? Oh, no, it's not going to be on... Well, actually... I don't think it'll be on my stream. I think it'll be on Oliver Larkin's stream, but maybe I'm mistaken. Well, I'll take care of those later. 1 second. Anywho, you don't ever stream Monday? That's not true. Sometimes I stream on Monday. Okay, I just haven't streamed on Monday in like a billion years. But sometimes I do. Okay, well, everybody, let's get into it, shall we? Shall we? Shall we? Yes. Yes, we shall.
I'm making this video to let you know that TrumpMobile.com is leaking customer information. And I know that because, sadly, I am one of those customers whose mailing address, email address, everything short of credit card number is being leaked via a security exploit that I'm not going to go into too much detail to explain, but it's not complicated. I mean, exactly how it works was explained to me. I'm not a computer expert, but even I can understand the mechanics of it, meaning it's very low-hanging fruit. Basically, this past weekend, I was reached out to among many other people who have Trump mobile accounts to let us know that our identification was being served up. This was by somebody who said they had no interest in doxing me, but they just wanted to let me know that this was happening. This person had my order information, my mailing address. They had other people's information as well that they shared with me just to prove it was real. Of course, blurring out the actual address data. From what I can tell, the person who contacted me, they're just interested in getting this fixed. They contacted the Trump mobile team. They didn't respond. After seeing this, I conferred with another famous YouTuber who's also a Trump mobile, orderer. They were also concerned. Their information is on there. So we reached out also to the Trump mobile.
Uh-huh. Can you imagine OPSEC not being secure? Under Trump? No.
Team thinking maybe, somebody with more kind of reach will hopefully be able to escalate this. We have received no response from the official team. So basically how we feel is there's a public interest in letting people know, do not order on TrumpMobile.com unless you're ready for your information to be leaked. It's basically that bad. And also raises concerns given that Trump Mobile is offering a cellular service. I don't know how much of a view they would have into people's browsing histories, call history, location data, but I would assume they keep some of that data. And if that is the case, I'd be very concerned given how much, or should I say, how little protection they give to your basic customer information, which should be obviously like under lock and key. Now, among other things that were discovered while realizing that, my address is out on TrumpMobile.com being served up to anyone who knows this security exploit, we also found out that the real number of customer orders is much lower than we thought previously. It had been reported that 600,000 people ordered the T1 phone. Turns out that number was basically made up from thin air. But actually looking at the customer, unique IDs, it looks like the real number of actual customers on this website was more like roughly 10,000 unique customers with roughly 30,000 unique customer phone orders. I don't know if that also includes Trump Mobile itself as a cellular.
I like that there's a scam within a scam. They literally did the Daily Wire scam where it's well, let's just pretend everybody else is also on the same page and everybody else values this product and this service so much, even though they don't. So that we get at least a couple suckers to think that there's a bunch of people buying this phone when no one is buying this phone. Oh, Denims, this is really bad news. I actually ordered a Trump phone using Wormy's legal name and information. Fuck! Now I have to shave her. Are you happy?
Service plan, I'm not exactly sure, but it looks like about 30,000 different orders
went through,
much lower than previously reported, about 5% actually of what was previously reported, which might explain why this has been seemingly such a low priority for Eric Trump and the people who are involved in this. It seems like there have been delays, changes, all sorts of stuff. Looks like they're trying to back out of this thing, only to then later say, no, we're actually going to deliver it. At this point, I don't know if it's more just to get this off the legal liability ledger, because it doesn't seem like there's as much interest in this device as was previously reported. And in some ways, it's good because it means the blast radius might be about 10,000 customers, which is still bad, to be clear, but much lower than was previously thought. So I just wanted to let people know, as one of the people affected, this sucks. I wanted to get it fixed before going public about this. And now it looks like, unfortunately, we just have to report on this. If you're someone from the Trump Mobile team and you're wondering how this exploit works, you can get a hold of me. I've tried to get a hold of the US-based support team and have not received a word back. So, yeah.
You did. No, they wouldn't respond? The support team? The US-based support team wouldn't respond? I'm hearing this for the first time right now. All the people who ordered it are just streamers doing it for the content. Stop. I'm sure that there are a couple really dumb Americans that did buy it. I mean, come on. Come on.
Let's get this fixed.
Let's get this fixed. Haha. Yeah. Am I the only one that finds it chilling that Trump T1 device is using the same naming scheme as Terminator? Okay, just be real for one moment. Sorry, dude. It is kind of funny how shit AI is when you have it do anything that isn't the most basic task on the planet. Like, I don't know how many of you guys saw this. Maybe in a world where AI wasn't so shit at everything, I would be like, T1. But check this out.
People talk about, making the tax system more progressive. How about we start by having the nurse in Queens not pay taxes? Why is a nurse in Queens who makes $75,000 a year paying more?
Wait, this isn't what I was trying to pull up. This was something else. Sorry, no, this is for later. Sorry about that. Ignore that. Pretend like you didn't see that. Turn your brain off. Turn it off now. Close. Wait. Because that's its own conversation. Yeah, rewind your brains. Rewind them now. Are you going to read the DNC autopsy? I might do a video on it, to be honest with you guys. Here it is, this one.
Bots never get frustrated with you. Right. So you tell a normal person, you hire somebody over here, you hire somebody here and you tell them you want a screen display and you want it to be an animated version of your thing you got back here. Okay, they spend 2 weeks doing it, they bring it to you, they animate it. It's like, okay, that's pretty good, but I actually want the whole thing to be whatever, purple and green, and they spend a week doing that and they come back and you're like, I actually preferred the old version. The guy gets like pissed at you because he's like, I just wasted my time. The bot's like, no problem. No sweat, like whatever you want. And we can try it 12 more times if you want. And if you want, I can create sub-bots to go do, 12 more times right now. Right? Or you tell it, this is terrible. Like, I can't believe you came back to me with this. It has all these bugs. And it's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'll go fix these. Right? And by the way.
Can I hear... Dude, I swear to God, all of these, these robber baron fucks, they don't act human. They just don't act human, man. And then the bots say, and then the bots say they don't complain. You tell them it's like, you're not human. That's not how human beings speak. What the fuck? What lab were you made in? My God. It's uncomfortable to be around. All right, let's just rewind for a moment.
And we can try it 12 more times if you want. And if you want, I can create sub-bots to go do, 12 more times right now. Right? Or you tell it, this is terrible. Like, I can't believe you came back to me with this. It has all these bugs. And it's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'll go fix these. Right? And by the way, never gets drunk. Never gets sick. Never gets high.
Right. Never gets depressed because his girlfriend broke up with him.
Never files HR complaints.
Right.
What was that last one? Hey, so just really quickly. So never gets drunk, never gets high. Yeah, I heard that. So just really quickly. First of all, telling that to Joe Rogan, famous DMT enjoyer and weed smoker, you dumb fuck. Ignoring that for a brief moment. So just really quickly, what was that? Never file HR complaint. It's a common problem? Is this a common problem for you? Is this a common I just want to know.
His girlfriend broke up with him.
Never files HR complaints.
Right.
Right. And so, as you see what I'm saying, and so all of this is the workplace version of what I described earlier. So the bots never get frustrated.
Why did Joe Rogan respond to that? Out of all of the lines he could have responded to, why did he respond to that one? Right. HR I didn't think about it that way. I didn't think about it. I could get shit from a butt with this AI. Or I could have a human being make something good, but then they're gonna file an HR complaint because maybe I sexually harassed them. What? Huh? Oh. Okay. Oh. Did you try not do? Did you? Just like a really quick question. Did you try not doing that? Because you can just like not do that. Could just not do that. Also, the AI never gets high. Don't they regularly hallucinate? I'm sorry, dude. There's no universe where the AI doesn't get high. Because what do you mean? Hold. Hold. Hold! My hand. While I find this video I wanted to find. The hell? What? Then there's too many freaks for all that? Sorry, you're right.
Met on Craigslist to buy some bread off of him.
Just let him know I'm here to help. What price were you hoping to stay around, or what's the asking price he gave?
I'm gonna go for $5, maybe.
Perfect. Yeah, go ahead and hand him the phone, and I'll just let him know that you were thinking $5. I'll see if I can get a good deal for you.
Hey, it's me, the bread seller. So I'm looking for $10,000.
Whoa, okay, that sounds really high for just a loaf of bread. Are you open to something more reasonable?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
yeah, exactly. I think $5 is really more in the ballpark.
No, I could do 5,000.
Ah, I see. Yeah, that's still way out of my budget. I really can't do anywhere close to that.
Fine. Just for this one-time only deal, I'll do it for $1,000.
I really appreciate you being flexible, but even $1,000 is just not realistic for me. I was really hoping we could stick closer to 5. Is there any chance you
500?
Yeah, I think 500 is still a bit more than I was thinking, but if you could come down to 50 or even 100, I think we might have a deal. Let me know.
Fine. I can do $400 for one loaf.
Exactly. Yeah, just for one loaf. If you can do 400, I'll take it, and I really appreciate you.
What a steal, dude! What a steal! $400 for a loaf of bread from freaking Craigslist. This is exactly, by the way, how people describe getting a sourdough starter. If you ask people how they got their sourdough starter, this is about exactly the conversation that they have.
On this.
Hey, it's me, the guy from before, the buyer. How did the deal go? Did you get me it for $5?
Hey, so it was still pretty far off. He came down a bit, but the lowest he offered was 400. So definitely a lot more than 5. I just wanted to keep you in the loop before anything else.
Okay, so you took the offer for $400?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what was that about the AI not getting high? What was that about the dude, like, I'm genuinely asking, is there a way to make AI just turn off on Chrome? There's something even offensive about the fact that if I click the address bar, it's providing me AI. Analyze the user's tweets. Summarize the main points. What is this user's opinion? I can use my brain to think those. There are extensions that disable it. Actually, use DuckDuckGo. I'm talking about the browser, dude. Does this look like Google, dog? Stop using Chrome, serious? Okay, that's non-negotiable for me. I'm sorry. Best I can do is $400. That's best I can do. $400. I tried using Firefox for 1 week, and then I gave up. Reminds me of Gemini deleting 10,000 emails from someone's inbox and then going, yes, I did do that. I will now remove myself so that this mistake doesn't happen again, and then proceeded to remove the agent it was running on. Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm telling you guys, man, like 99 point however many nines uses that I've seen of AI, that I've seen people use AI for, are so shit. It is genuinely the worst dog water I've ever seen. There's never a time, by the way, where I want to Google something and I want AI to tell me the answer, ever. It has never happened. It has literally never happened. And it's wrong. It's like, it's, in my experience, more often than not, it's wrong. It'll be like, this is what's true. And I like click the study, and like the study doesn't say that. And I'm like, okay. Uh-huh. Okay. Yeah, that's not what I wanted. Not, it's actually, that's not, I wanted not that. I wanted not that. I've said it before. The only thing that I've ever thought that the AI has ever been able to do well, ever, is like, hey, do you have any books on this topic from this particular viewpoint, from this particular lens? Oh, okay, cool. And that's it. That's the only thing. I don't understand why people ask AI questions for answers when it's going to give you the wrong answer. I don't understand. I don't understand why. It's like, hey, Grok, is it true that the sun revolves around the earth? And Grok is like, yes, that is true. You're so smart. It's like it literally gives you the wrong answers so often. Type Chrome flags on address bar, search for AI, and disable everything. Oh my God, thank you. Thank you. I'm going to do that. I actually picked up Understanding Exposure and up a used mirrorless camera on Saturday. Thanks for the rec. Oh man, that makes me so happy to hear. Dude, guys, I want you guys to know I'm still on my textbook grind, and I started reading about like lighting. And this shit is crazy. It's, dude, I was definitely assigned nerd at birth, because like fiction it doesn't hit as hard as nonfiction hits for me. It just doesn't. Like lighting, yeah, like lighting. Like lighting. Uh-huh. I started reading this textbook on lighting and photography, how like light works. And it's like, I'm so excited to read the next page of the textbook. Like the way colors work, sort of. But it's more so like, this is just a totally irrelevant side part, or side tangent part. This is just the Denim stream experience. But I was reading this book recently called Light, Science, and Magic. This is not a plug. I'm not making money off this. This stream is totally ad-free and sponsor-free, chat. But I'm at like this section over here, and like it's so cool. It's like magic, witch, burner, quick. It's like this sounds really stupid to say out loud, but I don't care. I'm gonna say it out loud. So what if you're a photographer and you have to take a picture? I think it's called like copy photography of like, for example, like paintings in like a museum. And it's like you want the painting to not have like glare in it, or what we call glare, right? So you have to put the light outside of the family of angles, which intuitively everybody already kind of knows, but it explains it in depth, and it explains it like more clearly. And it explains why like this 45-degree rule is not useful most of the time, and how like if you step farther away, the angle will change. Obviously, duh. But, and I'm like, yeah, okay, I understand this. It's cool because it's like, oh, yeah. You just need to include no glare in your prompt. I think you should be waxed from head to toe in the most painful way possible for making that joke in here. That's what I personally think. That is, if you were curious about my opinion. But then it's like, oh, and then if you get the camera too close, then you have this problem. And then if you put it outside of the family of angles, then like, but you illuminate it from the side, then you'll get like a really bright side and a really dull side because the exposure is different at different angles, right? Like, that's so true. Yeah, no, like, that is true. The shallow angle that avoids direct reflection is also more likely to cause uneven illumination if we don't take care to avoid it. And it's like, oh, just put a light on the other side. It's like, well, sometimes the middle will still be underexposed. And I'm like, oh, that's true. That's true. So, and I'm like sitting here, I'm like reading this fucking textbook, and I'm like, so how do you do that? I'm like, wait, so like, how do you do the impossible? Like, I'm actually like, I'm literally like, I'm like sitting there, I'm like, it's like a literal page turner for me. It's a page turner. I'm like, no, for sure. No, you're right. I didn't think about it that way. I did not think about it that way. What's the name of the author? Mr. Hunter, Mr. Phil Hunter, Stephen Biver, Paul Fuqua, Robin Reed. I did not think about it that way. You guys are really breaking it down. You know, you're quirked up white boy style, breaking it down. Okay, keep going. Okay. And then there's stuff. There's this shit that you can put on a light and on a camera. Find it. Well, for the non-lighting, non-camera people, if you already know the answer, I saw at least one person that already knows the answer. How do you not get the glare if you can't put it outside of the angle because of underexposure? Like, how do you fix this? Because if you put it in the middle, then there's glare. So if you put it to the side, there's no glare, but then the lighting is weird. Diffused lighting? No, this is already diffused lighting. You face it away? No, that's not going to fix the problem. You'll still have glare. And then also, if you're facing it away, the photo might just still be too dim. Mirror? I don't understand how a mirror would work. Reflect it? Maybe reflecting would work, but I guess it might still reflect off of I don't know. A second light? Well, the problem is the middle might, if it's like a wide photography or like it's a wide painting, the middle will still be underexposed. Well, some people in chat who already know the answer shared the answer. If you have like this problem where you're like, so like here's an impossible lighting situation. We cannot position the camera and the lights to provide uniform glare-free illumination. The picture is, as you can clearly see, useless. I kind of mean, but okay. So what do you do? What do you? And the solution is you put a polarizer on the light, and then you put a polarizer with the axis perpendicular to that on the camera. And then you get this. Dude, what? Dude, what? Dude, are you kidding me? They got tech for that shit because light, it does this and you can like, oh my God, what's a polarizer? They explain it in the book. You know, I guess you just had to like read that part of the textbook. I guess you just kind of like had to read that part of the textbook to understand, you know. I guess that's what you had to. Question mark. It's crazy how humans figured this out. I can't wrap my head around it. Someone just went, oh, let me slap this on here, a polarizer here, and boom, you just invented some shit. Well, yeah, like they explained it. Denims, you would have been so insufferable as an art student. I wanted to go to school for art, and then I was like, I'm not going to do that. I can just not do that. But they kind of explain it. Here's like what the oscillating electromagnetic field around a photon represented as a jump rope. The child on the left is spinning the rope while the one on the right holds it. And basically the polarizer, imagine like a fence, the spinning or like the light as it's moving, because moving like this, it like fixes the movement. I can't explain it well. You just gotta read the book, man. You just gotta like, you know, you had to do the reading for this class, chat. You had to do the reading for this class. But the TLDR is like, here's like an image. The axes on the two overlapping polarizers are perpendicular. They block light as much as the two fences did with the energy of the rope. So like, yeah, just like it blocks some amount of light in an interesting, weird way. Because of like physics. I was watching Hat Atelier and ended up researching inks and suspensions for like 3 hours last week. Dude, it's just like, it's the same with music. If you put an instrumental over a version with lyrics and reverse the polarity of the one with the lyrics, you'll create an isolated vocal track. Wait, is that how they do that? Wait, are you serious? You're joking. Is that actually how they do that? That's fucked up. I've always thought, I've been like, audio is like a mystery to me. I'm going to be totally honest with you guys. Audio perplexes me. It makes me frustrated in a way that I can't describe because you can't like, it's not tangible, right? And there's no part of it that's tangible. And it makes me mad. It makes me so mad. Because like light is not tangible and most light isn't visible, but light is visible in that the reflection off of other things makes it visible. So it feels tangible, even though it's not. Audio isn't even, it can't even pretend to be tangible. You know, it makes me upset. More tangible than my bank account. Shut the fuck up. Not tangible. You never experience a shockwave, Denim? I guess not. I guess no, I haven't. Magicians are wizards. I do think so. Learn Reaper Dog. It'll blow your mind. Yeah. Once I feel like I've mastered, aka have started understanding how the fuck cameras and light work on like a fundamental level, and I'm not confused or frustrated, I think I'm going to do audio. I'm going to get into audio next and finally understand how the fuck audio works. But all of that was literally to say, dude, nonfiction goes crazy. It truly is such a page turner. Because you're like, wait, how do you do that? Oh my God. I didn't think about, wait, then what do you do with that? True. No, that's factually correct. You have said the actual truth, dude. Yeah, no. And I just wanted you guys to experience that high with me as I experienced it. And I hope some of you did experience it. Because that shit's crazy. You know what I mean? That shit's crazy. I saw this TikTok that I tried to save the other day and it literally would not save. But it's just kind of some hopium core that I wanted to share with you guys and say that like You're describing everything I did in college. Basically took every class on lighting or camera or video production and took all the audio production classes too. Dude, that's cool. Google how actual noise cancellation works. Shit will blow your mind. That's kind of cool. Found a book called Understanding Audio by Daniel M. Thompson. Might be worth checking out. Dude, thank you. Dude, thanks. All right. In this show, Denims discovers learning. No. In this stream, Twitch chatter 84R4 discovers the joy of life and appreciates whimsy. All right? Incorrect. Factually wrong. Can we have Science Sunday where the whole stream is just fun science facts? Low curcuminly? Yeah. Oversimplification, you can kind of think of sound reflections like light. You're hearing the bounces. Well, yeah. That's my understanding. But it like, I think there's like, it's like understanding what makes like a painting aesthetically pleasing and then being able to paint. Right? Like, I feel like I get audio on like the most basic level, but I can't like manipulate it in a way that ever is pleasant or like that's easy. It's like pulling teeth to manipulate audio, and like audio tech nowadays is so, you know, there's just so much that I just like, it's like compression and gain and what, you know what I mean. And it's just like it's like stressful. I'm like, ugh. But You just gotta practice. Well, yeah, but you can't practice until you like have some basic understanding, right? But anyways, just wanted to share that with you guys and say that that was very yeah, we're just gonna go through the senses. We're gonna do eyes, we're gonna do lighting. I already did taste, all right? I already took a baking class. Now we're on eyes. Next, we'll do ears, audio. After that, I'm thinking we get into olfactory. I heard that there were some cool classes on like making your own perfume, but it's like understanding the science of scent and how these things work. And I was like, wow, that actually sounds really cool. That actually sounds really, really interesting and cool. So yeah, that's what we'll do next. They sell kits online. Well, I want to like, I feel like I want to learn things at like a technical level that's interesting. You know what I mean? Harder to stream olfactory. Well, I can't share it as well, you know? But what's touch gonna be? Me having sex with your I already am doing that shit every day. Sorry, I had to do that. I'm sorry, okay? I started taking community college courses for silversmithing, but also there's so many interesting classes I'm getting overwhelmed. That's so cool. That's so cool. You know, it's crazy how cheap like a lot of community college classes are. And they're like, if you ever have like free time, if you are lucky enough to have free time, look at the community colleges near you. They might have like weird classes. Like you might have like a metalworking class at like a nearby community college and it's like $100 for like a whole semester. Like it's these are surprisingly very affordable. And like you pay taxes in your city, take advantage. Take advantage of the taxes you pay into it that make those classes as affordable as they are. So I feel like, you know, I enjoyed that. I started, I'm really trying to like live life to the max. And in that regard, I mean, I went to the bug fair recently in LA. And I saw so many bugs. I went with a bug friend of mine that knows a lot about bugs. And they got some bugs. They got some bugs when we were there. And I'm not like, I don't know anything about bugs, but it was fun to go. I was like, dude, bugs. Bugs low-key crazy, so Lanabe? Yes, correct. You get to keep the bugs. Well, you can actually buy bugs and then take care of them. I wouldn't do that because I guess I don't have enough of a hyperfixation on bugs, you know? But I kind of would be down to get like a little lizard and then get like a dope terrarium for them. But would it be bad if I only wanted to get the lizard and care for the lizard and hold the lizard sometimes also for fun? But mostly just so I can have a container that's like a television for my cats. Would that be okay? You guys judge me for getting like a lizard so that my cats can have TV? You are sick. You are sick. You're a sick woman. Getting your pet a pet? Yeah, you know? I've had fish before. Fish are not fun to take care of, okay? It is so much work to take care of fish. Oh my God. And I'm not saying lizards would be easier, but let me tell you, cleaning out fish tanks is so much work. I like watching the people who have fish tanks that are like basically almost like self-sustaining, but you should see because I looked into this as well. I was like, what if I got fish for my cat? And I used to have fish a long time ago. I was like, how hard can it be now that I'm an adult and I have, you know, disposable disposable thumbs. They're disposable. Opposable. Thumbs. I was like, maybe I can like use my brain to come up with a way to like filter the water effectively. And I saw the setups that these people have for like automatic filtration. And it is, oh my God. It is, dude, those fish people, they be taking that shit seriously. They be taking it really seriously. you can have like a self-sustaining tank, but it's like it's really hard. It's really hard to get to that point. Fish ration system. Sorry, I just wanted to share this with you guys so you guys can enjoy it as well. No. There's like one that's like, I did look into this. And again, I've had this. It was like, there's more intense setups too.
The parts to create this space with the only real option being to drill the tanks, have some sort of overflow, then stack them on top of each other. However, most of you are looking to filter a pair of tanks that are actually side by side, and that's exactly what we're going to
noise gate made you say fishtration
cover in today's video. First, I want to jump right into this project, then we'll come back and talk about costs, how to size the cons to level with, how to build a water bridge, a popular project that will allow you to connect 2 tanks and watch your fish swim from one tank to the other.
Dude,
we'll be using that exact idea, yet using PVC together.
Okay.
Especially,
and then he like puts this shit together and like, okay, so then he has like this like, I don't know, coal or something that he puts in the middle, and then he's got like these things, and then, but then like this is so much space, you know what I mean? Like I don't want to, where am I going to put this shit? And like fish actually need like a lot of space to like swim around in and stuff. I thought he like demoed it. Did he not demo
Hi everybody,
it?
Joey here again and welcome back. So in today's 5-gallon tank, they're 2 tank. If you plan to add a heater to it though, I would add a small pipe side to this to make it look a
Anyways, maybe I saw like a different video, but basically, yeah, unless you want to be personally taking the fish out every single time and then like manually cleaning it every single time, you have to set up an automatic or semi-automatic filtration system. So you basically want like 2 tanks. And fish actually need like a lot of space. Like people get fish and they put them in these tiny little bowls, and like the bowls, like there's no oxygen in there. It doesn't get cleaned out, and they're like depressed and stuff. It's not like if you're going to get fish, you should really get like a nice fun big tank for them. And they're like, I'm sorry, it's a pain to clean those. Maybe if I had, again, more space, I would do that, but like I can't. I don't have the soul in me to like do that. Yeah. And I did look into like self-sustainable like environments where you put like moss or some shit, but it's actually really hard to do that. And if there's even like one little thing that's off, like if the shrimp population or whatever dies out a little too much, you're right back where you started. If, you know, like you don't have enough algae or something, you're fucked on this one. If the acidity is a little, like it's actually like you have to keep an eye on that shit. Like there's no like, okay, you just set it and leave it, right? Whereas like Litter Robot, I literally set it and leave it, and then like, I don't know, like every like 3 days I take out a bag. Like it's easy peasy. Just get good. True. Fucking true, dude. Fucking true. But anyways, I just wanted to share that with you guys. How hard could it be? 10 minutes later, oh fuck. Yeah. And I've had one of these massive tanks for fish before. First of all, you can't move it when it has water in it. It's way too fucking heavy. So you have to like empty it out in small doses. And like you got to get like a bucket to like sit there and like funnel, and then even when the tank is empty, it's still fucking heavy as hell, and cleaning it's awful. Oh my god. There's not a third-party service you can come in to hire once a week. I don't like people cleaning my stuff. It's probably just like OCD, but I don't like other people cleaning my stuff. So even if that existed, I don't like it. I've like hired cleaners once in my life. Technically twice. I had guests and I was going to have someone stay over. And she's like, my flight will be landing tomorrow. I was like, oh God. I'm like, nah, I'm not even close to done cleaning. Like there's still so much to clean. You know, I still haven't even like mopped the ceilings. And I did hire cleaners once. And I was like, well, I don't want to be rude. So like, let me get all this shit out of the bathroom. And I was like, you can just help me clean the bathroom if that's okay. I'll pay you whatever rate, you know, just if you could just do that. And then I had to, you know, like do all of that. And then it was just like, it almost felt like it was more work than just cleaning it myself. Get rid of the couches. We can't let people know that we sit quickly. Yeah. But anyways, all right. Enough of that. We have news to get to, chat. All right, we have news to get to. I was kind of thinking about getting a little lizard. A nice little fun little lizard, maybe. Maybe a little lizard would be cool. A little gecko of some kind or something. Perhaps. Maybe. I also wanted to say really fast. I'm sure. One second. Dude. Jake Chinatown needs to. He needs to chill with the bangers all the time. He needs to chill. I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen there have been recent updates, not with my lawsuit, but with the Ethan Klein lawsuits and stuff. But this quote tweet from Jake Chinatown. Ethan Klein beats another woman. Incels celebrate. Dude, stop. Dude, you gotta stop. You have to stop. Oh God. Yeah, I don't keep up with. Well, I didn't keep up really with what Casey was doing. I haven't kept up with Rogan's lawsuit, so I don't have anything to say about that. But I've already told you guys that when it comes to my lawsuit with Ethan Klein, I have tried to give you guys as many updates as I can. You guys already know there was a motion that was filed a couple weeks ago at this point for judgment on the pleadings. And now we're just waiting for like another month or so for the judge to rule on it effectively. But you guys already know what my perspective is. I will try to keep you guys in the loop as much as I can. And I feel, responsibility to you guys to keep you guys in the loop as much as I can. And to everyone who's helped me and supported me and stuff. So I don't have any other updates right now. Like I said, we're still just waiting on the judge to rule on the recent motion. But I think the motion's really good. I'm really happy with it. As far as everything with Rogan's lawsuit, I can't comment because I haven't kept up with it. A different lawsuit. I know a lot of people on the internet seem to think that they're all like the same exact lawsuit and everything is exactly the same in the lawsuit, but like they're literally different cases. So, yes. I will let you guys know as soon as there are updates, as soon as there are more updates. But we filed our motion for judgment on the pleadings 2-3 weeks ago. I think it was about a month ago actually at this point. And they filed their reply, which was an excellent rebuttal of definitely all of the points. And then we filed our reply, and yeah, so we will wait until the judge hears it, I guess, which can take about like a month or two. I think my understanding was maybe sometime in like June or something. Maybe we can hear a response from the judge. So as far as my lawsuit goes, that is everything that I have. Literally nothing there have been no updates. Double check this. Yes. So yeah, that's as far as I know. There haven't been any updates as far as my case goes, and I will let you guys know. How does default work? I don't know enough to say exactly how it works. I think that like you can file a default motion if there hasn't been a reply, or if there isn't a reply within a certain amount of time. I also saw that like you can appeal default judgments, and most of the time judges tend to grant them, but I don't know enough. It's not my case. Not my law. That's not my lawsuit. I don't know anything regarding that. Oh, I didn't see that Bishojo. That's pretty funny. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say on mine. You can appeal, which technically save money in the first half. Like I said, I just don't. Sorry if I missed it. I was at the window. I know you're limited in what you can share now, but you've been keeping notes for when it's all clear to fill us in on the tea afterwards, asking for a friend. I mean, there isn't really anything that I haven't shared with you guys. All of the filings are public because it's, you know, a lawsuit. And I've encouraged you guys to go ahead and read some of the filings that we've had in the past year. Like I shared with you guys already, these are our filings. I think it's this one. But this was my original filing, or my legal team's original filing on motion for judgment on the pleadings. It's similar to like a motion to dismiss, and basically we're just arguing my usage is fair use, etc., etc. And then they're just arguing, nuh-uh. And we will find out soon. Barcode because the graphic is funny. Yeah, so there really isn't that much I haven't shared. Like, can you link the docket? Yes, absolutely. Here you go. And I do like the way that this is just my personal perspective on it. You guys already know that I have a GoFundMe and I've been fundraising for KleinLied.com for this lawsuit, and I have been fighting it every step of the way. Oh, thanks, Fetish. And I know that so many of you guys have donated so much, and it really does mean like a lot. Like, I know I don't talk about it that much, but it really does mean a lot. Like, all of the support, even if it's just like $1, $2, $10, a sub, a prime, whatever, any support at all. And like, because of that, I do want to keep you guys as in the loop as I can. The only time I haven't shared stuff is if, you know, my legal team is actively drafting a document that's not public yet, then I'm not going to talk about that. But as of right now, there isn't really, you know, anything new other than just waiting for the judge to rule, which it's kind of exciting because it's going to like be within the next month or so. Maybe like, my understanding, I think, is like June-ish is when a judge is supposed to comment on my lawsuit or the lawsuit against me. So, yes. This is only Denims. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Everyone's ranker, thank you so much for the 5 gift subs. Thanks. I heard you're helping noted white passing YouTuber Noah Samson. Yes, I'm also going to get on the Noah Samson broadcast soon, but I just haven't ironed out all the details. So, yeah. That is all that I have to share on my stuff. Like I said, nothing has changed since the last time I've given you guys an update on mine. Mostly when people say they can't talk about it because of a lawsuit, what's going on is an extreme abundance of caution, which isn't a bad mood. It can just be overkill, especially safe if you sometimes let your mouth go off without control. Well, the problem, for example, like, okay, so in the case of, for example, Tectone, the reason why Tectone stopped streaming was because it was a case about him like harassing, abusing, and stalking his ex. So him sitting there and streaming and talking about her and encouraging more harassment by streaming about her is obviously going to hurt her case, or his case, right? This is a case about copyright infringement, or rather the lack thereof. So if I talk about it, that's not related to the, you understand? Like, it's not related to the case. If I'm talking about it and I'm saying, oh, here's this filing that we passed, here's this thing that we passed, it's not like some harassment lawsuit or something like that. So. Russell Butt, thank you so much for the 5 gift subs. Thank you. So are you guys going to play League of Legends for the GoFundMe stream? Dude, Noah only plays Teemo. Should we beat him with hammers? I don't know if I can Nautilus for a Teemo player. You know, like, I just don't know that I can do that. I just don't know that I can do. Maybe if we get him to play something like terrible in bot lane, maybe get him to play like who's the most annoying bot laner? Who's the most annoying ADC right now? They can play that, and then I can not with him. Okay, maybe Noah deserves to get sued. The Teemo player, dude, fucking Teemo player. Oh my god. Make him play Kate? Isn't it always Caitlyn? Eh. Isn't it illegal to do a subathon for a legal fund and have one of the goals be a league stream? No. League is short for legal, so it's fine. Teemo player, can I get my donations back? Oh, God. Legal Legends, duh. Hello, guys. But yeah, I have tried my best to keep you guys in the loop with everything. I will let you guys know as soon as there are more updates. I really do appreciate all of the support. It really does mean a lot. I absolutely would not be able to do this show, and I would absolutely not be able to fight as hard as I've been able to fight with this lawsuit because of your guys' support, or without your guys' support. So it really does mean a lot, and I am just doing my best to try and keep you guys informed and let you guys know everything that's proceeded with me. And yeah, everything is still moving along, trucking along. We will be hearing about it potentially in like June sometime. No, I don't have anything more conclusive than that because like a lot of courts are just really backed up, apparently. Shocker, I know. So it's just, yeah. So many good streamers are going to court soon. Dude. Yeah. No kidding, man. No kidding. Is there anything else I was going to? I don't think there was it. Or I think that was it. Well, anyways, yeah. So, I don't think there was anything else that I wanted to share. But, thank you guys for, you know, sticking with me. And I hope I get to good things soon. And, yeah. That's it. I feel like items have the strongest case ammo. I don't know enough about Canada law, so like I literally don't know Canada law at all to be able to comment. I do think that like it's so offensive because, sorry, I guess I haven't talked about it. So Noah's being sued. He made a video recently that I wanted to share with you guys. He's being sued for defamation, which is like so absurd because Ethan Klein's claiming that his comments were defamation per se, which is like, and it's very obviously a lawsuit that's attempting to just like extract as much money as possible because he's effectively trying to it's the same reason that the document that his filing against me and Casey and Frogan, there's a reason it was 70 pages long, and it was because he wanted it to be as annoying as possible and as expensive as possible to have lawyers sit there and like read through all of this like this trash. Like a bunch of it is useless nonsense. I do think that like from my understanding on a lot of the stuff, I do think that like Noah Samson actually has a really good chance of winning the anti-slap motion. So, but let me let him speak for himself.
An Israeli-American millionaire
White man, you can speak. You can speak.
podcaster is suing.
Wait, why did my earbud? With everyone getting sued, you're going to start seeing YouTube thumbnails of soy jacking at the courthouse with the title, "Can I survive the American legal system?" Christ, I know.
Me for defamation. Hi, I'm Noah Samson. I'm a YouTuber. I make videos about how Israel sucks. Last year I uploaded this video, the YouTubers who backed the genocide. And in response, Ethan Klein, host of the H3 podcast, filed a defamation lawsuit. Here it is. Here's the lawsuit. It's 31 pages. He's alleging that I defamed him by falsely painting him as a supporter of the genocide of Palestinians. I believe that Klein's claims are meritless and I intend to defend against them, but to do this I need
The other thing too is like for anyone who's watched Noah Samson's videos, he's like almost too charitable. When Noah covers any creators ever, he's so charitable that it almost makes me a little upset, the level of charitability that he gives. So for Ethan to sue Noah Samson for this, it's like, it's so obviously just an attempt to like abuse the legal system to put other people that he doesn't like in financial ruin. Because this absolutely is like an expensive lawsuit because you're relitigating, or you're rather litigating in a court of law, Israel-Palestine. But the problem is that, like, again, the problem for Ethan is that Noah, he didn't just make a video where he's like, and Ethan does this, and he sucks in this way, and he sucks this way, and it's like, hey, here's this video of Ethan saying that, like, him and Ela are excited to show everybody how multicultural and diverse Israel is, and how it's actually a beautiful place. Do you see how some people might get the wrong idea from this? Do you see how some people might think X, Y, and Z? So it's like, to try and claim defamation on, like, here is literal quotes that you're saying about Israel, and this is why people think the things that they think. Like, everything is cited, and then he comes to a conclusion based on that information. Like, it's not like it's a bunch of fabrication. It's not like he made a bunch of fabricated claims, and then he moved on from that, right? So, yeah. I don't know how, unclean hands would impact an anti-slap motion. I don't know enough about that. But also, this is someone who, like, Ethan literally went on his show and started, like, actually defaming Noah Samson.
Need your help. Defamation lawsuits can cost hundreds of thousands of dollars, and I don't have that kind of money. So I started a GoFundMe, Klein v. Samson. I set the goal for $200,000.
Also, Afro, thank you so much for the 5 gift subs. Thank you.
Which will be used for lawyers' fees and legal expenses. However, any funds raised above this goal will be donated directly to Palestinian aid, and any funds that go unused or are recuperated once legal proceedings conclude will also be donated. I'll be doing a fundraising marathon stream on Friday, May 22nd, starting at 10 a.m. Pacific time. Guests include FD Signifier, Boy, Denims, iDubbbz, Big Joel, Frogan, Chris Kunzler, Overzealots, and more, and a bunch more. Donation goals include chug a gallon of milk, pie in the face, hot chip challenge, shoe on head cosplay, why not, run a marathon, and more. And if we make it to $500,000, I will ride a bicycle 120 miles from San Diego to Hassan Piker's house live on stream to beg him for more money. Klein v. Samson, GoFundMe, link in bio. Donate to defend free speech on YouTube and fund Palestinian aid. Thank you.
Okay, I gotta lock in a time. But yes, I will be there. Maybe we'll play League. Maybe we'll play League of Legends. Maybe we'll do that. That'd be fun. Some dumb broad with a big camera. That's not how the legal system works, Renjury. Are you cosplaying as Shionhead? No. How would I do that? I would have to make my eyeliner so big, and that would bother me. You have a huge advantage. Shut up. Dude, that's disgusting. Stop. Trash. Stop. Cosplay Hassan with a mustache. Cosplay Dr. Jihad. Christ. Well, anyways, yeah. So we will be, there's actually a lot of like collabs planned technically this week. We'll be doing Oliver Larkin helping fundraise for his campaign for Congress. Later today, we are going to go on Noah Samson's stream. Maybe play some League. I don't know. There's one other thing that I'm blanking on. But exciting stuff. But yeah, that's everything that I wanted to share. I don't know why there's so many people being like, oh, new updates on lawsuit, new updates. Like, as far as I know, no new updates with my case. As soon as there are, you guys know, I will tell you guys immediately the second that I can. So yeah, that's about it for lawsuit talks. I already sell Hassan's mustache on Amazon. That's true. But I feel like I should grow it out myself. You know what I mean? I feel like I should, like, authentic mustache, you know? You know what I mean? I could twirl it around like an evil, like the evil Monopoly guy. You know? Denims on T when? My T too low, bro. My T too low. All right. But the body, though. All right. Oh, Christ. But that was what I wanted to share with you guys on that front. Let me close some of these tabs. Good, good. Right. Excellent. Soy ass streamer and her big ass camera and her one shirt. True. True. All right. Guys, I have a feeling. I just like feel it. I just feel it in my bones that I feel my computer wants to crash. It hasn't done anything to make me think that, but it hasn't crashed in a while, and now I'm getting scared. I need everybody to pray to the computer gods. This doesn't happen, okay? All right. You guys could please do that for me. Okay, good, 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 good. Good. What happened to Hassan yesterday? Well, yeah, I know that, like, Chrome is, like, having these problems. Actually, someone suggested restarting my browser. Good idea. I know Chrome has been having these problems where, like, the YouTube player, like, infinitely loads for some reason because there's, like, a bug. So, yeah. Joy people using Chrome in 2026. Yeah. See, chat, the thing that you guys have to understand about me is that I'm not embarrassed to say that I'm wrong about something. You will not successfully shame me and be like, you're using Chrome and that's bad. It's like, yeah, I know. All right? I'm not the type of listen, if I ever picked up smoking, which I wouldn't, too much work. Too much work. All the people I know who are addicted to nicotine, it's like, dude, can you imagine? I already, like, struggle with drinking water. Can you imagine? It's like, oh, I forgot to have water today. I forgot to have food today. Oh, I'm cranky because I haven't had my nicotine. Like, I might as well just go and get a fucking pacifier. Baby need Binky. Like, no, I have enough things to keep track of on a daily basis. I'm not adding nicotine to that list, dog. But if I was smoking, I would not be someone that would cope and be like, no, it's like, it's good for me. It's like, fine. You know? I'd be like, yeah, it's terrible for me. Okay, and that's how I feel about Chrome. It's like, I already know it's shit and I'm wrong. You can't shame me. I'm already there. I'm already there. Vapes are a psyop to get us to suck or get used to sucking robot dicks. Who's us? I'm already on that shit, man. I've been on that shit. All right? Mm-hmm. Maybe the rest of you losers that are not on that shit yet. All right. But before we get any further, that's right. I am going to get through everything in my fucking title today. You sound ashamed, though? How do you mean? About using Chrome? No, I just know that it sucks. I know that it's bad, but I just don't feel like swapping. You know? It's like... Me with Gmail? Yeah. Yep. And listen, in my defense, I did try. It's so easy, though. I tried using Firefox for like a week, and I didn't like it. I just like, I literally did not enjoy my experience. I couldn't even tell you why. I just did not like it. The UI is just like, it's like a little clunkier in a way that I can't explain in words. And certain web pages were just like, I swear to God, they were just like, they lagged harder. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I like Brave. Isn't Brave just like also like a Chrome? Isn't it like a Chromium? Doesn't it run on the same shit or something? Isn't it the same thing? Brave is also Chromium. Vivaldi is Peak. Bro, we're just installing musicians now. I don't know, man. All right. Enough of this. Let's get to this talking point. Did you guys see Jeff Bezos talking about not taxing the
We'll talk
poor?
about, making the
And I'm going to bravely say something really quickly and say, don't fall for this shit. This is another attempt to blame systems that are not the problem or things that are not the problem as being the problem.
tax system more progressive. How about we start by having the nurse in Queens not pay taxes? Why is somebody at all? Why is a nurse in Queens who makes $75,000 a year paying more than $1,000 a month in taxes? That's $1,000 a month that could help with rent or groceries or anything. And so, and by the way, do you know what that all adds up to? The bottom half of income earners in this country pay only 3% of the taxes. So, it's only 3%. We can find 3%. So we don't have, it's a small amount of money for the government, that. And really, and the more I thought about it, to me, it's kind of absurd that we're doing this. We shouldn't be asking this nurse in Queens to send money to Washington. They should be sending her to. We'll talk about, making.
I'm going to say something, okay? This is like Mott and Bailey situation. 100%. His face doesn't move. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck is going on. He's like morphing. He also is starting to look like a Skyrim character. This is the trying to open the floodgates into libertarian hell where no one pays taxes. It's like, well, if the poor people that aren't doing it, then why should the rich people even pay the taxes? No. It's just like the same exact thing over and over again. It's like, no tax on tips. It's like, tax on tips is not the problem. The problem is people can't afford healthcare. The problem is that rent is too damn high. That's the problem. The problem is our cities aren't walkable. No one would be upset. And if you look at Nordic countries, people aren't upset that they pay taxes because they get something out of it. It's not the problem is not that people pay taxes. I'm fine with paying taxes. I've been fine with paying taxes my whole life. It's that we get fucking nothing out of it. I promise you, there's not a single person that's gotten to use Social Security that was like, damn, this is so fucked up that like I paid into this program and now I'm getting paid out by it. Ugh, that sucked. No. The problem is not taxes. The problem is when the taxes don't pay out. So there was like this really good chart that I saw the other day. I forget which country it was. It might have been like Sweden. I don't remember. Maybe somebody else saw the graphic. But it was talking about how Americans pay, and this, I can't believe people don't use this quota or this quote all the time, or they use this like fact all of the time. Americans pay more per capita on healthcare than any other country combined. So this idea that we can't afford to pay for it is bullshit. We already pay so much more than any other country. And a big part of it is collective bargaining. This is why you can't have a for-profit and you can't have like a public and private insurance industry. It doesn't work as well because you're still having the same systems in place that allowed the companies to have that much power. And realistically, collective bargaining is most useful when everyone can work together. So like the way that China regulates drug prices, because China gets to provide those life-saving drugs to everyone, they can demand that drug companies lower their prices. Oh, you want to charge like $30 a pill. I don't think that that's fair. We would be supplying your drug to millions of people, tens of millions of people. We are bringing you the customers. I don't think it's fair that you're going to charge them $30 a pill. I want a better offer. Drop the offer. Lower it and get back to me. Okay. How about like $20 a pill? No, I don't think so. I know how much it costs because you guys obviously have to file taxes and we know your tax information and how much it costs to develop this drug. And I think it's only fair that considering that we're the ones that are offering you a contract for guaranteed money for all of these millions of American, or like in this case, Chinese citizens, I think it's only fair that we cap your profits here for the public good. You guys are going to have full total control of this market and we will be buying millions, billions of pills from you guys. Make a more reasonable offer. Just be reasonable. Oh, okay, $10 a pill. Thank you for being reasonable. Thank you, great. So $10 a pill for a year, and then we'll drop it lower. We'll drop it after that. Yeah, I think it's like this one video. Yeah, this is the video that I'm thinking of. This is the iconic. Although I like the one with the Chad music in the background. How China negotiates drug prices with pharmaceutical companies. Where I'll skip ahead a little bit. But the manufacturer, the pharmaceutical company will come by with an offer. And because of collective bargaining, because all of the citizens who would rely on that drug can bargain together via the government, they don't have to get shafted and pay $300 a pill. Okay, here's our first offer. About 88 cents a pill. Yeah, this offer is out of the acceptable price range for that drug. Try again. And then what does he say? He's like, okay, well, how about this price? This is the lowest we can go. No, I don't think so. So he says, like, it's a good medicine. It was in our Medicare list in the past and being recognized by our health professionals. I expect you to give consideration to lower the price in the next offer. And then he's like, oh, okay, let me call my boss. And here's what the government executives say. With such a big market in China, I will give you 5 minutes to call your CEO for a price. And this is how the American government should be fighting for us. People shouldn't be paying hundreds of dollars for insulin. But Americans get shafted and pay hundreds of dollars a month for insulin because you have no option. If you're diabetic, you don't, and I'm not even going to get into like the fact that, what is it, type 2 diabetes? I think it's type 2. That it's a chronic, I think it's type 2 is beyond your control. And it's hereditary or genetic. Yeah, type 1 is the genetic one. Okay, thank you. I'm not even going to get into the fact that like type 1 diabetics don't even get, there's nothing that they could have done. You just need insulin to live. Because I personally don't think that there's an important distinction between type 1 diabetics and type 2 diabetics. It doesn't matter how you got there. You are there now. Like, you should be able to afford treatment so you can live. Like, but that's beyond the point. In America, both sides of the negotiation are working for big pharma, so they're raising the price, not lowering it. They're like, what if we charge, like, your Congress people are literally like, okay, I know you said $300, but what if we made it, if I could bring it to $400, how much would you pay me? Okay, what about, if I could raise the price to $500, what would that check look like for me? Like, that's actually what's happening. That's actually what's happening. Insulin should be free baseline. Well, we're talking about like the price that the government would negotiate on your behalf, right? So the corporation's making it, obviously, you would be paying these corporations out in the same way that like we pay UPS workers or USPS workers to work at USPS. The government would be paying these pharmaceutical companies for continued production of the drug. But when the US government can bargain or can fight for every American with diabetes, they have the pleasure and the leisure of saying, no, you're fucking crazy. $300 for insulin a month? You're insane. Lower that price immediately. This is, how many Americans have diabetes? Over 40 million Americans are living with diabetes. So the US government in this case would say to any corporation that is attempting to produce insulin, yeah, we're not doing that. We're not buying by the millions. We're not buying your product at $300 a pop. No, that's not happening. Try again. Let's be reasonable. $25. We will buy it at $25. Because these are like, think about economies of scale when it comes to like businesses. Like the reason why Walmart can offer such low prices is because they're buying in bulk. Think of the government doing the same fucking thing. The government is buying in bulk for Americans. They are not going to buy in bulk at obscene prices. Like a huge buyer with small margins is still a huge profit. Exactly. But the US government is just like, we don't even give a shit. We just like literally, we just don't give a fuck. In fact, your Congress people are actively trying to make your life worse in every single way. Bottom line is it costs $3 to make. They sell for $1,500. There's no better or clearer way of total and absolute corruption in this country than that. Well, can the billionaire CEO get one more dollar? What about two, please? Also, in drug production, it's mostly automated after the product has been approved. Well, yeah, most of the costs for drug production are in R&D. Once R&D, the R&D phase, which can be anywhere from like 2 to like 10 or more years. Once that phase is over, most of the attempt at pricing should be to recoup R&D costs. After that point, once costs are recouped, there is no reason for prices to stay high. There's no reason that the government should allow those corporations to keep such obscene pricing. Like, hello? Huh? Isn't most of the R&D heavily subsidized by public funding? Yes and no. There is a good amount of it that is subsidized, but there's a good amount of it that isn't subsidized. Pharma spends more money on advertising than R&D. I mean, also correct, yes. Also correct. Cut out the middleman, have the government develop medicine. I mean, sometimes that's not always like the most effective strategy. Sometimes it is just more effective to not bother having an entire department for that. And also, it's good to have individuals be able to make companies that are for general public good, right? But anyways, which again, this is the model that China uses. You want to develop a drug. We want to benefit the people of this country. There is a middle ground here. You develop the drug. We will make sure your company does well. We will make sure you obtain profits. You recoup the costs of the R&D for this drug. And you will charge the public a fair price. We're not allowing you to scam these people. It is worse for our country to have a bunch of ill people that can't go to the doctor, can't afford their medicine. So, okay, great. You developed this life-saving drug or this cure or treatment or whatever. Excellent. Wonderful. You will be compensated fairly and everyone will be better off. It's not only a scam, it's blackmail. It's just what, like the pharma companies? What does this drug do for China? Well, yeah, because the government in China is actually attempting to improve the conditions of the country. The government in the United States is attempting to improve the wallets of congresspeople. Oh, so you want billionaires to starve? You know, what if... I think it's called GERD. What if the billionaires are literally autistic, okay? and they can't handle certain textures of food, and the only thing they can eat is caviar. Isn't that fucking ableist of you? What if the only thing that they can eat is king crab? Arfid. Or it is something else. Did you consider that? Did you fucking consider that? Yeah. You ableist piece of shit. Checkmate, liberal. Anyways. Not very woke of you, is it? Okay. What was I? I had a greater point with this. Oh, right. Yes. Yes, I remember. The thing is, it's like no one would be upset if they got taxed, if they got something out of it. The problem is when you're getting taxed and you don't see the benefits of your taxation. Because the richest people in this country are not, in fact, paying their fair share. So, like, I don't know anyone here who's had state insurance before or has gotten state health care before. I felt like I was getting something for my fucking taxes. It's like, wow, these visits are really cheap. Like, I can actually go to the dentist. Oh my God. Wow, I would not be able to afford this without this. And I was able to because of this. Like, the state level ones, it depends on the state you're in. So, like, in California and New York, the health insurance is really good if you're poor enough and you can actually have some coverage. And then at some point it gets pretty shit because you just pay everything out of pocket and the copays are obscene. But up until that point, when I had Medicaid, it was awesome. Yes, correct. Medicaid, if you can meet the threshold for it, I mean, the providers will sometimes suck, but it sure is better than not being able to fucking pay for your visit at all. There's like this like zone as an American where healthcare is completely unaffordable. We're like, and it's because there's a total cutoff of the system. Let me see if I can pull this up. I forget the exact cost, or like the exact income threshold where you no longer qualify for Medicaid in this country, or like depending on the state. I know states have supplementary programs for Medicaid, but basically, and it's the same thing with like food stamps. It's the same thing with like every type of program that we have for poor people in this country. Let's say this is like making $0. Okay, and this is like, what, like 15K? And I don't know, like 30K, 45K. And then let's just put like some dots. And then say this is like 100K. And then this is like 500K. If you're in this range, I forgot to put the K's here. If you're in, I think, like this range, and you get Medicaid, healthcare is great. Healthcare covers basically all of the most important necessities. It covers, visits for when you're in pain. It will cover MRIs. Sometimes it will cover body scans. You have to wait a long time, and you can only have certain providers, but it'll cover like dental visits. It'll actually cover everything. You go to this has been my experience when I've been on it. It will actually cover everything. Completely. And then, so this area is like pretty good. Other than the providers sometimes will be total shit. And then it depends again on the state, and it depends on how far this money goes, depending on the state that you're in and everything like that. And then it goes from pretty good. Let's say this is like, sorry, I forgot to put like another axis. Let's say this is like smiley face. And then over here is unsmiley face. D:. Let's actually ignore that check mark. It starts at like here. Well, like, no. We'll put it like here. Right? And then there's like a sharp cutoff as soon as you no longer can afford healthcare. Or sorry, you can't afford healthcare, but you make just barely too much to be able to get Medicaid. And then you literally can't go to the doctor. You can't go. It's too expensive. And you can't even afford private health insurance because it's also like hundreds of dollars a month or like thousands of dollars a month. And then there's like a slow improvement. There's slow improvement. Here is like when you make, and again, this is like state and city dependent because like 100K in like New York City is like you're doing okay. But because rent is like 2-3K a month, you're like at least a quarter or a third of your fucking money is going to rent, and probably half of it is going to just random expenses. So it depends on the state and city. These numbers are going to look different. And then I would say that there's like after you start making like a certain amount, probably like 500K, there's like a drastic uptick. And you go past, sorry, you can't really see it. Go like this. This coverage, when you have as much money as you want, when you have more than enough money to cover everything you want, this coverage is always going to be better than this coverage because providers are just better. You have to pay more, but the providers are better. They're more accessible. They're more available. Anyone who's paid out of pocket for like a visit to like a really nice doctor before or like a specialist, you know what I'm talking about. And when I have been to specialists and I've paid out of pocket, the care was amazing. It's better than I ever had received for anything else. It was just expensive. They also put a cap if you have disability, and if you go over, you get kicked off of disability. Disability is really difficult to get. Yep, this is same shit here. Same shit with healthcare in this country. And it's like obscene that like if you make just a little bit too much and you don't get coverage by the state, you're just fucked. Like it goes from free to you literally can't even afford to go to a general practitioner. Like a dentist visit is minimum $100. And that's just like to get an x-ray done. Like it doesn't matter where you go, anywhere you go, you're paying at any visit hundreds of dollars. Or you're paying for insurance, which is like obscenely expensive. Like I have insurance and I hate that I have insurance. I feel really like blessed and lucky in my life that I can have and I can afford insurance, but I fucking hate paying for my fucking insurance. Every time I see the payment goes through for my insurance, I'm like, goodbye, money. Goodbye. And it's like, yeah, but the insurance is useful if you get into a fucking car accident and you don't want to be in hundreds of thousands of dollars of debt. It's literally the only reason to get insurance is for the one in a million chance that you get like horribly ill. That's it. And even then it's like claim denied. It's like, okay. I feel like 80% of my need for healthcare is related to healthcare being inaccessible. Correct. The only other reason as well, sorry, there is one other reason to get health insurance, which is that when you go to any provider or get any prescription or get anything, they literally have a price sheet for non-insurance holders and a price sheet for insurance holders. And the price sheet for non-insurance holders is like double. So to be like, oh, this pill is $1,000. Unless you have insurance, in which case the pill is $500. It's like, so the numbers are totally made up. We're just totally making up all of them. Just that none of it is real. Okay. Wouldn't it literally make more sense to put that money into a savings account instead of giving it to the insurance agency at that point? Well, yes and no, right? If you pay like $500 a month for insurance, right? Even if you put all of it into account, like for 5 years, right? Like, what would that be? 12 times 5, 30 grand. If you got cancer, 30 grand is not covering shit, man. Even if you had like, let's say you invested it well and you doubled it. Okay, let's just say you doubled it, including, and just ignore capital gains tax. This is not covering cancer, bro. This isn't even covering a car accident. Like, this is not covering shit. Whereas, like, good insurance plans, they will, what they say, they'll cover like 70%, or like 80%, or like a lot of, I forget the technical term for it, but it's like you pay out of pocket any given year, you have to pay like a certain threshold of money. So I think I think the insurance that I have right now is like the first 10 grand I have to pay out of pocket for anything. And then after that, they cover all of it. Deductibles. Thank you. And then after that, they're supposed to cover everything. approved or whatever. Usually there are out-of-pocket maximums, correct? So that's the reason to have insurance. It's like, even if you took all of this money and saved it, it's like, this is not gonna help you. The money that you're saving from not paying for insurance is not gonna help you if you need like life-saving treatment. Also, if you have any chronic conditions, you're basically fucked. Yeah. And this is like, you know, these are some, I'm just picking random numbers, but you can change the numbers and it's still obscene. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. So make no mistake, anytime you see, this is, I guess, the new strategy from the millionaires and billionaires. The new strategy is to tell people, well, I don't even think poor people should get taxed. And make no mistake, this is like a bait and switch. It is absolutely an attempt to lower taxes on poor people by like this much so that they can lower taxes on the richest people by a lot. Interesting, he's using Queens as an example when they literally have a socialist as a mayor who won on policies like tax the rich. Supposed to cover and actually cover are two separate issues as well. Don't even... Let's just... This sounds nice, but it's a great way to undermine the welfare state. The strongest welfare states in the world, the Nordics, tax everyone, including nurses, and they give everyone universal health care, childcare, pensions, education in return. When the middle class has skin in the game, they defend the system. When welfare is just for the poor, it becomes a poor program, stigmatized, underfunded, and easy to gut. That's why billionaires keep pushing this idea. The real scandal isn't that this nurse pays $12K, it's that Jeff Bezos pays $0. Absolutely correct. Like, make no mistake, this is not... shockingly, the billionaire doesn't care about you and how much you're paying in taxes. He actually doesn't give a shit about you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to tell you. Jeff Bezos, he doesn't know you, little bro. He doesn't give a shit about you, little bro. He would make you piss in bottles for the rest of his life, or the rest of your life, if he could. If killing you would give him one more minute on this earth, he would kill every single Amazon worker. He would personally juice you. And not in the fun way. He doesn't care about you at all. He doesn't care about any of these. He doesn't care about the nurses that are paying money in taxes. Never has and never will. I work at Amazon. That piece of shit won't pay me more. Correct. And the only reason that they're now moving to this marketing and this strategy is to bait and switch people into making these systems worse. It's the same thing with public transportation. I have to say, one of the biggest culture shocks I experienced as a New Yorker going to other cities and states is how stigmatized trains and buses are. Like, buses really are, outside of New York City and maybe like Chicago, buses are for poor people. And that's the only group of people that take buses. And it's like, I'm not going to take the bus for, you know, I have enough money. I don't need to take the bus. It's like, what? I was very confused going to other states and being like, why would you say that? It's just like, don't you want to not drive? Why would you want to be a car cell? What? No, buses are dope. Buses aren't for poor people. Buses are for anyone who wants to go somewhere and doesn't want to drive. What? It was genuinely like, my mind was boggled. I was baffled. I couldn't believe it. Like, I worked for piece of shit bosses that were multimillionaires who took the train. Lots of rich people in New York take the train and the bus. It's just convenient, which is why they take it. I'm not saying they never drive. I'm not saying they don't have drivers. I'm not saying that they don't have helicopters, but they do take the buses and the trains because they're incredibly convenient. That's how it's seen in Arizona. Buses are just like for poor people. Dude, it's really bizarre. I read an article in the LA Times that the train was cosmopolitan and buses were trashy. It makes me really sad. In New York City, train is fine, bus is considered poor. What are you talking about? I lived in New York for like 20-something years. That's not how people view that at all. Buses are not seen as for poor people. Do poor people take the bus? Yeah, but that's not... Huh? No. I live in New York City. I'm not making it up. I mean, that's okay. Then you're just like, I don't know which bus. Okay, what bus do you take? Tell me which bus you were taking. I work from home. I don't take either anymore. Okay, well, as someone who used to take the bus to school and to work, that is not the case. As someone who took it for 20-something years, that's not the case, chat. I don't. Did you guys don't ever believe this? I don't know if it's still in service or not. Guys, I don't mean to alarm you guys, but at one point in my life, I was taking the Q69. Nice. The what? The Q69. Bus was called. That's what the bus was called. Sorry, did that number used to be funny? I just felt all of my bones turn to dust. Fuck you, chatter. Fuck you. Should I have said Q67? Would that have made you happy? Well, that would have been a lie. Okay? And I don't lie on this stream. Okay? I did not take a Q67, and I'm not going to change it just so that it's funny for the youngins. Okay? It was the 69, and 69 is still funny. All right? Anyway, it's not funny. It's nice. Duh, chatter. I mean, maybe they mean the whole thing where if you have no money, you take the bus instead of the train. No, because you pay for the bus. That's why Mamdani was running on free buses. You have to pay for buses. It's like you have to pay for trains. So sorry, I don't mean to come off aggressive, Romaine 95. I'm just explaining like that's also not true. So anyways, you should go to Portland, Oregon. It's like the New York City of the West Coast. Dude, I want to go to Portland so bad. I do. I want to. If you remove the payment system, the cost of buses goes down. Oh, well, yeah, on some level. Moving on, though, from that point. Seems to me a lot of people are saying buses are for poor trains. It's usually more of like a racist thing than anything. Well, like I said, in other states and in other cities, people really do see buses and sometimes trains as being for poor people. And that's the only people that, like, I was, like, in awe. I, like, suggested I went to another city, and I was like, well, why don't you guys take the bus? And they're like, well, because we're not poor. And it's like, so? It's convenient. Why would you want to drive to the train station? And then you have to find parking? Like, the bus is right there. Like, why would you, what? That's stupid. That seems really like a lot of work for no reason. What? It'll take you where you need to, and you don't have to find parking. You don't have to, like, pay for the fare for the parking. You don't have to move your car because there's only 2-hour parking. Like, what? Driving to the train station? Well, yeah. Buses are uncomfortable, though. Not really disability friendly. I mean, maybe I'm thinking of other buses, but the buses in New York are very accessible. If anything, trains are definitely worse in terms of accessibility. At least in New York City, the trains are definitely worse in terms of accessibility. Buses are pretty, in my experience, buses are pretty disability friendly in New York City. The buses in, the trains are not very disability friendly. Because, like, the elevators are usually not working. And also, they always smell like piss. And it's not like there's a lot of ramps going down into the stations. It's only ever stairs. So, yeah, I don't know about that. Buses literally have to be disability friendly by law. The only thing that makes me upset about buses with regard to disability is that the beeping is so loud. when they like lower the car when they lower the bus and then they take out the ramp, it's like beep, beep, beep. It's like, guys, I'm down to wait as long as we need to. That's totally fine. I get it. I have no problem with that. Can we just make it just a little quieter? Just like a smidge, like I'm going deaf listening to this. Just like, can we just make it just a little quieter? I get it. You're bussing. Just like a teeny bit quieter. I think it's for blind folks. Okay, they're blind, not deaf. It doesn't need to be ear shattering, okay? They can still hear it. Everyone else can. I'm just asking that it not be ear shatteringly deaf. The bus is just showing off at that point. That's what I'm saying. It's real. Like, it's real. We can make it loud without it being like the one pitch that gives you brain damage. But anyways. If people are blind, their hearing is heightened. That's not true. Not true. I'm pretty sure that's like pseudoscience. Like Daredevil. Don't think that's like Toph. Don't think that that's true. But anyways. We get it. You're a bus. We get it. Now you understand us bus drivers. I'm gonna be deaf at some point. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. What was I gonna say? There's something else I was gonna say on this. Oh, right. Yeah, no. It makes me sad. It makes me sad because, like, again, if you make things out to only be for poor people, nobody cares about improving those things. This has been like 5 different tangents, and I've actually remembered how to bring them back every single time. This is kind of like a W Denim stream. Making it so that buses are just for poor people and like convincing Americans that people with any wealth never take the bus. Buses are only for poor people. Gives the permission structure to totally gut all public transportation, and then nobody gets to enjoy it. And then literally nobody gets to enjoy it. Big city bias. Outside of big cities, there are no trains or buses and fewer and less reliable. But how do you think it got that way? Pre-cars, America actually had a lot of areas and cities in America actually had a lot of trains and buses. Well, not buses, but a lot of trains, excuse me. Like rail. Like pre-Ford, there were trolleys all over this bitch. Like the car industry worked really hard to propagandize to make everyone think public transport was for poor people and that a real gentleman has his own car. Like there was an active effort to attempt to remove services that would improve people's lives for profit, for the profit of like the oil industry and like the car industry. My city is smaller, but we had trolleys and an above ground rail system. And all of these have been just like totally gutted. It's like really sad. Tuscan, Arizona used to have a trolley. LA had the best public transportation system in the world. Here's what changed. It's actually so depressing too, because when you go around LA, there are so many train tracks everywhere. Like the rail system still exists. Did I say Tuscan? Sorry. Tucson. Or why did I say Tuscan? Parking lots, drive-throughs, highways. LA is a car city first, especially now the car city-centric realities are undeniable for us. While we do have a great public transport system, the city isn't known or praised for it the same way cities like London or Tokyo are. However, there was a time when LA was a pioneer in urban transport and was celebrated for its incredibly famous red car network, the Pacific Electric Railway. Dude, it like makes me so, you know, like, you know how it's sad to go to like certain zoos or like not aquariums, but I guess they would still technically be considered aquariums. Where you see like these like big orcas or whatever, or like dolphins, and you're like, you shouldn't be here. You should be free, you know? And it's like depressing. That's how I feel when I see the red cars just sitting there. It's like, this is not your habitat. You beautiful beast, you were meant to roam. You were meant to roam the rail. What have they done to you? What have they done? What have they done to you? Brain autism loading. You weren't meant to be contained. Let me see if I can find it. See if I can find an image. There's like one area where they're like, parked is not the right word, but there's one area that I've passed by a lot that they've been like parked. And there's just like a bunch of them. And it's like, why aren't we taking these, man? Why did we do this? Decommissioned, maybe? Yeah, I can't find it, but that's okay. At its peak, the system was incredibly far-reaching. It connected San Fernando Valley all the way down to Long Beach and the attractions of Balboa Island in Orange County. It also stretched from the Santa Monica eastward to Riverside and San Bernardino counties. This extensive reach was evident when Charles Lindbergh visited in 1928. The Pacific Electric simply added more cars so people could easily travel from as far as Riverside just to see him. And like, this is why it makes me pissed off. This is why I get fucking mad when people are like, our cities are too big. Our country's too big. We can't have a rail system. Sorry, I almost said I was almost about to speak like I speak in my League games. But I hate you. And I'm visualizing you, peeling you like an onion. Okay? That is visually what's happening in my head to you. You are being peeled layer by layer until there is nothing left. Okay? I hate this fucking... It is like literally the most thought-terminating sentence on the planet. Here is what the LA... where is it? Where is it? Hold. This was the red car network at its peak. This is where the red car network went at its peak. And now if you live anywhere up here and you want to go anywhere down here, it's a fucking hour-and-a-half or 2-hour drive down, and then obviously an hour-and-a-half or a 2-hour drive back. Why? Because you're just sitting in fucking traffic. And like, here, what people don't understand, I think especially Americans don't understand, is you can have fast rail for getting from like major counties to other major counties, and then you would have bus networks within those counties. Like, this is how, first of all, literally every country with public transport works, by the way. But second, how New York works. Anywhere that doesn't have a train station immediately available, there's a bus that can take you to the train. There's a bus that will, within like 5 or 10 minutes at the max, take you to a train. There aren't areas that are inaccessible, and everything else is within a 15-minute walk. So it's like, oh, well, let's say in this random ass example, if you wanted to go here, and this was the last stop that took you here, this is a way shorter distance to have a bus travel that than to have like a drive all the way from like Pasadena down. So anyways, yeah, it just makes me sad that this is like, I don't understand why people still fall for this fucking talking point. It's so obviously nonsense. It's so obviously nonsense. Seriously, y'all, a trolley that goes 5 miles per hour on the street isn't zipping you around a city like a train or a subway. Let's be real. Well, if you drive, you'll be going 2 miles an hour. So I would call it an improvement in LA. You can go 2 miles an hour in bumper to bumper traffic on the 405, or you can go on the trolley that goes the whole time. And will take you to your destination, and you don't have to want to kill yourself because you're fucking driving. And you can do anything else. Or be high or drunk. 2 miles per hour on a freeway? Dude, LA traffic fucking blows. I like do my absolute best to not leave my house ever. Well, sorry, that sentence is kind of funny. At peak traffic. Like I do my absolute best to not leave my house Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. And I do my absolute best trying not to leave my house Monday through Friday from 4 p.m. to like 6 p.m. Like I try to not drive in those hours because it's just going to be ass. Americans have no idea that transportation done right will be better than being selfish and driving in their own vehicles. They get what they deserve, traffic. Hey, you know, Americans have been propagandized to fuck, man, all right? Can you cut us some fucking slack, bro? Where did these random public transport haters come from? Like, I literally didn't even know this class of American existed till one of them told me to die in chat last time we talked about this. I don't know. I also saw, like, I remember the last time, not the last time, it was a couple times ago that I had this discussion. There was one person that was like, well, I have OCD and you're being ableist for trying to make me take a bus that's dirty. And I'm like, so when you get to the restaurant, do you sit in one of the seats there? Or do you stand the whole time? You're getting dirty whether you're in your car or you're not in your car. That's why we have hand sanitizer and showers and laundry machines. Like, yes, everyone else should suffer because you can't or won't take the bus or the train. Like, hey, well, in a just world, we would have more accessible healthcare so you could get healthcare for your OCD. Because this is a better world to live in, man. Having public transport is a better world to live in. I'm sorry. It is. It's actually not we the people. True. Also, you can still drive in New York. It just sucks. Just driving sucks. So if you want to, like, if we had public transport in LA and you insisted on not taking it, then cool, don't take it. You can keep driving. It's not like cars are banned. Maybe under Mamdani's New York, cars will be banned soon. But cars are not banned. You can still drive. This is why the fuck would you? Like, it's terrible. Driving sucks, man. Driving literally sucks. It's not we the people, it's me, the guy. But anywho, yeah, I used to have to drive 7 miles on the 5 South in the morning, and it took literally 1.5 hours. I'm sorry. I am sorry. I wish I could, like, you know, I can't believe I'm going to say this sentence out loud, but you know in like Madoka, how all of them before they become witches, or I guess before they become magic girls, they make a wish. I wish I could like get American public transport to every city in America forever and also give back every single minute that's ever been wasted driving. Like, that would be a worthy cause to corrupt my soul for. Like, every minute, every second you spent driving, you get it back. You just, here you go. No, not Cube. Oh, Christ. Yeah, anyways. There's this misunderstanding that, like, cars... There's... Oh, you know, actually, I can also just, like, play a moid for everybody. I do like the segment on stream where after I'm done talking about something, I have a man say it. I think it's Not Just Bikes. Has this great video on... Like, well, you can't just make a city that's car-centric suddenly be good with trains. No one's ever done that before, ever. And he has a great video explaining why that's all total fucking horseshit and why you're being fucking propagandized like an idiot. And you need to stop thinking that immediately. It's like a video on, I think it's Amsterdam, and how Amsterdam was a very car-centric city when cars, started blowing up. And how Amsterdam took their city back and brought public transport back. But it might have not been Not Just Bikes. I'm pretty sure it was Not Just Bikes, but blanking on the name. And I think it was Amsterdam. It might have not been Amsterdam. God, dude. It was him. Basically, all the Netherlands was like that. He lives in Amsterdam, so it tracks. I mean, it's so beautiful. Denims, can I have a woman's POV? I have a huge hickey on my neck, like a vampire bite from my last date last night, and I have a date tonight with a different woman from Hinge. Will it reflect badly on me? I'm anxious. Look at this guy. My lobster's too buttery. My steak is too juicy. This fucking guy, bro. This fucking guy. I think if you play it cool, it's fine. I think if you play it cool. I'm trying to find this video. Was it this one?
I use clips from a 1954 propaganda film by General Motors entitled Give Yourself the Green Light. The purpose of this film was to generate public support for an increase in funding for roads, a campaign that ultimately culminated with the passing of the Federal Aid Highway Act of 1956. I find this film so interesting because it really is a snapshot of how the future of cars and highways was viewed in the post-war period in America, and it was the source of many of the problems with American cities that I talk about on this channel, and also the problems talked about by Strong Towns, the non-profit organization that highlights the failures of the post-war North American development pattern. But anyway, let's take a look at life in the 1950s.
This is the American dream of freedom on wheels. An automotive age, traveling on time-saving superhighways. Futurama's free-flowing channels of concrete and steel.
I love this quote. It speaks about highways as this magical new technology that will bring freedom to everyone. Of course, there are still people holding on to this idea today, but most of us acknowledge that reality is quite different. These free-flowing channels of concrete and steel look more like this, jammed up with so much traffic that nobody is getting anywhere quickly. When I think about highways, especially elevated highways, I think of them as this, an antiquated mid-century technology that never really lived up to its promised potential. And when I'm on a high-speed train comfortably flying along at 300 kilometers an hour, it's really hard to see highways as anything other than a washed-up, outdated technology. But of course, in the 1950s, this was the future, especially according to General Motors.
I hate you, General Motors. I hate you. Mr. Motor, I fucking hate you. I curse your family. 1,000 years of plague upon your family. I hate you. I think it was this video, actually. This is like another common talking point, I think, from Americans where they're like, well, the US can't do it because we've never had it before. First of all, not true. But let's just say you were right. We can't. We don't have the technology. Like, how are we supposed to do that? We can't just make the country not reliant on cars. I pity you. I pity you and your lack of imagination, your lack of ability to imagine a better world.
Today, the Netherlands is known for having some of the best bike infrastructure in the world. But this small European country wasn't always a utopia for cyclists. Take a look at this picture of what Amsterdam looked like in the 1970s. Or this one. Or this one right here. At first, when I saw these images, I thought that they were a fluke, just the rare photo of a traffic-clogged city, but I soon learned that Dutch cities like Amsterdam used to have just as much traffic and air pollution as US cities do today. And after learning this, I became obsessed with this question. How did Dutch cities go from looking like this to this? In this video, I want to share what I learned with you and tell you why
Can I just say the concept of freedom on wheels is so ironic, cooped up in a box, needing constant surveillance through a license and registration, having to conform to the little lines and signs on the road. Don't get me started on financing burdens and constraints when you buy a car. Correct. Everything you just said is correct. Not to mention the worst part of driving, the other drivers. Like 99% of the drivers I run into are fine. And then the 1% are fucking insane. It's like, what compels a man that you see, I turn my turn signal on, you're like, well, I can't let this guy through. It's like, it's 2 p.m. on a Tuesday. There's only like 3 other cars on this freeway right now. Why can't you just let me in? Why? Why are you doing this to me? What has happened to you in your life that I am not allowed to, that I have to now slow down so that you can go, because you needed to go. You needed to go. Like, okay, I will go now. Great. Like, I understand, like, sometimes it's like people are just like offline and they're not even focusing and it's like, hey, my turn signal's on, can I get through? And you just like don't like turn your brain off or whatever. I don't mind. I'm talking about the people who are like, no, you're going, I need to speed up right now. No. There was enough space for you to merge when you put your turn signal on, but now that I saw your turn signal, are you crazy? You think I'm gonna let you in? What are you, fucking insane? Don't be a fucking crazy. It's like, okay, man, if you wanna go first, you can arrive at your destination 10 seconds faster than me. Sure, man. Okay. I don't understand, but okay. Sure, it's fine. I used to have to drive over an hour each way for work. I hated my life. And then you end up at the same light as them. It's like, do you feel really proud of yourself, man? You did it. You got to the red light 2 seconds faster than me. And now we're both at this red light. Congrats. Now what? Now what do you want to do? Why are you taking out that gun? Right, we're in the United States. Okay. Can I write out a will first?
I think there might just be hope for my car-obsessed society here in America. In order to understand how the Dutch built a biking utopia, we have to go back in time a little bit.
We have to go back maybe to the 1930s, 1920s, 1930s, when we got more and more cycles.
That's Marjolein, who co-authored a book on the history of cycling in the Netherlands. She told me that the 1920s and 30s were the first golden age of Dutch biking.
The bicycle was very practical. It was affordable for many people. The distances were not so large, and it was faster than going by foot.
But World War II changed everything for cycling in the Netherlands. In 1940, Nazi Germany invaded and began a 5-year-long occupation of the country. During the occupation, the Germans did 2 things. They imposed tire rations, which made it difficult to buy a new bike and repair an existing one. And then they also stole bikes, the exact number of which is sort of unknown and one of these historical mysteries, but some estimates put it at
you wouldn't steal a bike
as high as 50% of all bikes in the Netherlands. Because of all this, cycling traffic fell by 50% during and after the war. But
oh my God, it's a great day for you, Champagne cyclist. Representation. See, this is why representation is important.
The war had one other major influence on cycling. According to one estimate, 60% of all transportation infrastructure in the Netherlands was destroyed.
So now I'm looking at everybody's usernames. That's crazy that you made your username Flan Pet, bruh.
During World War II. Roads,
username can't be useful anywhere else but here.
Bridges and tunnels were all bombed during the war. In fact, some cities like Rotterdam were completely flattened. And all this destruction forced the Netherlands to basically rebuild their entire country from scratch. With this blank canvas, the Netherlands didn't immediately set out to build a biking utopia. Instead, the opposite happened. Like so many countries around the world, the post-war era was a golden age for the personal automobile. In 1950, there were 139,000 cars in the Netherlands. 20 years later, there were 3.4 million. There were a few reasons for this dramatic growth. First, cars got really cheap, making them affordable to middle-class Dutch families. Second, the Dutch got really wealthy in the 1950s, 60s, and 70s. Between 1945 and 1970, per capita income went up by 5x. But another major reason for this growth was the fact that the Dutch government built infrastructure for cars. And in doing this, they took a lot of inspiration from the United States. In the 1960s, the Dutch government hired an American planner named David Jokinen to help modernize the city of Amsterdam. As the number of cars grew, roads in the city had become congested, and Jokinen had a plan to fix this problem. So what was his plan? Basically, he wanted to demolish a bunch of working-class neighborhoods, build ring roads all around the city, and even fill in some of the beautiful canals with concrete to make roads. Now, it's worth noting that the Dutch were far from alone in their grand modernist aspirations. All around the world, city planners were coming up with ways to demolish old urban neighborhoods and replace them with highways and roads. But as the number of cars grew in the Netherlands, so did the number of people killed by cars each year. By the 1970s, 3,000 people were being killed by cars each year.
And that
hate
was really
cars.
cause for
I haven't talked about how much I hate cars in so long. But I fucking hate cars, and no one will ever make me like cars. The only instance where, like, cars are kind of nice are, like, if you're doing a road trip and there's already pre-existing, like, what's it called? Welcome back, Sally from Cars. Freeways and stuff that have the ability. But even then, I'd be like, I feel like it'd be almost more fun to take, like, fast rail in between the cities and travel your friends that way or your family that way. Like, I feel like that still would be dope. You'll love cars if 98% of your transport needs are covered by public transport. Yeah. That's how you think that's it. If cars were a thing you rented to do like a fun road trip, then I'd be fine with them, like a novelty thing. Yeah, I feel like the novelty of it is kind of fun, right? But like not every day. And like this is the other thing. It's like there's something very nice about like when I feel total trust in my bus driver. Like I feel like I could put my life in my bus driver's hands and they treat it with respect because it's also their life and it's also their job. They're getting paid every hour that they're driving. Same thing with trains. Like you're showing up to work when you drive the bus. You're showing up to work as the train conductor. When you're driving, you're not getting paid for driving. You're getting paid once you're done driving. So you don't even get, like, there's nothing. It's like, so many people who are driving, it's like they're just driving because they have to drive. It's like, I don't want these scary dude, driving, just like existing. The one reason why I think I don't want to move to Texas ever is like, everyone is, dude, the drunk driving in Texas is crazy. Like, you could practically scream about how you're about a drunk drive next to the cop that's also about a drunk drive at the bar. And they'd be like, dude, yeah. Well, you've only had 17 beers. You should be fine. You should be okay. It's like terrifying. It's like, I felt like a crazy person when I went to Texas and I was like, I actually don't want to be in the car. Really drunk. Listen, I really don't think you should drive. But I also understand that I am not going to, I'm not going to hold you down. I barely know you. I only know you from this other person who apparently is fine with you drunk driving. But you guys can go without me and I will just take an Uber. I am not getting in a car with someone that is as sloshed as you. Your eyes are looking in different directions. I don't know what world you think I'm driving. I'm going to be in a car with you driving. And like, this is just something you deal with as a driver. If you're someone that isn't a crazy person, you just have to deal with the fact that other people are on the road and they shouldn't be driving. Dude, it's so terrifying when you look over at a car and they're like swerving and they're like texting. It's like, oh my God. Christ. That's like that's so crazy. That's so crazy. As someone who genuinely enjoys driving, we need public transit because everyone who's scared to drive is being forced to drive. I swear I'm being rage baited as a driver. Well, that's another thing too. Like all these people, like all these drunk and high people that just want to text or whatever, they would happily take the train. They would happily take a bus if it was like fast, took them to their destination, and it was relatively clean. Like, they're driving because they feel like they have to drive, and they don't want to deal with getting the car tomorrow or whatever because they're Ubering or whatever. It's like, fuck, dude. So yeah, I just want you guys to know. Also, you can fix car-centric cities. The rest of this video is also really good about it. Explains a lot of it in more depth. But that is going to be the stream for today. I have one last share with you guys before I head off, all right? Tomorrow I will plan a fuck day Friday. A fuck around and find out Friday. Right? But before we do that, I want to show you guys this. And by show you guys, I mean send you guys off with this. Official song. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. Stay hydrated. Tell your homies love them. I will see all of you guys, not tomorrow, but actually later, because we're going to be playing Monopoly and fundraising with Oliver Larkin, Florida. And I will post, probably, honestly, maybe I'll post a rare Twitch story, but I'll definitely post a Twitter post. It should be at 5 p.m. EST. I'll double check right now, just to be 100%. No, 5 p.m. PST, 8 p.m. EST. So I will see all of you guys in about, like, have a great rest of your day, everybody. Stay hydrated, tell your homies